Well, good morning, everybody. Let's talk safety. So I had these drywall screws sticking down. I thought, how often am I going to be up underneath there doing anything? Well, I've already cut myself on them. so I am going to take a Dremel tool and I'm going to cut them off. One of the things, I subscribe to Ron's Trains and Things, which I've mentioned him before in my videos. And he always says something at the beginning like, for more tips, tools, and techniques, subscribe to my videos. Well, I can say the same thing, but my tips, tools, and techniques may not be something you want to actually do. So I am going to get my Dremel. I'm going to put on a face shield and a cutoff wheel, and I'm going to cut these off before I go anywhere else and before I hurt myself anymore. Alright, it's much safer. I did sort of hit it with a file. Not saying I can't cut myself. I won't be down here very often, but at least I don't have a pointy end on it anymore. Put another board over here and screwed a piece of plywood to it. And I sort of went in at an angle so I don't have to worry about the screws hanging down. So my plan is now to fill this void up completely with foam. If I took the creek straight back, I could just piece small pieces in here, but since I intend to sort of curve the creek that way, and taper it down out of sight, then I think it'd be better to just go ahead and get ready for that now. Get ready to carve it now. So I went to Lowe's this morning, got some foam, so I'm going to glue some foam in here, and while that's drying, I will get into something else and I'll keep you posted. I'm going to describe what I'm doing here. Again, no idea whether I'm doing this right or wrong. It's just the way I'm doing it. So I want this foam to basically come out to the edge of the fascia. This is the bottom piece. It doesn't really matter if it's all the way in the back or not. I want it to be as snug a fit as I can, but there's not going to be a track back there. It doesn't really matter. So what I'm doing is I keep cutting away this until I can get it to drop down behind the fascia, because this piece has to go down. You'll just see a little bit of it sticking up. Remember, it's going to be resting on the plywood. So I just keep on whittling away until I can get it down there in place. And I'll show you what that looks like when it gets done. And the next piece should be a little bit easier, and the top piece is already cut. So okay, that didn't work out as well as I had hoped. Really, to cut this stuff this thin and match these contours is really hard. I didn't know if I'd be able to do it. It was just a trial and error. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut across here, and I'm going to cut a piece out to fit this contour here, and glue it in up against there. So you'll basically see a piece that fits underneath this one, goes around here, and then I'll just cement that in. It's okay. Didn't know until I tried it. And foam is pretty easy to work with. The one thing I've heard about when you pour creeks is they will find any little pinhole and pour out on the floor. So I will be sure when I'm done carving everything to seal it really good with something before I start pouring the creek. The warm weather this week and the rain, we're supposed to get 2 or 3 inches of rain today, has really done a number on the snow pile, which I guess is an ice pile now. I don't think you could shovel it. Keeps this up, it'll be gone next week. So to paraphrase Michelangelo, even though it's doubtful that he actually said that, every block of foam has a creek inside it. It's up to me to find it. So I'm going to be honest with you. This is the scariest part of the whole thing for me, is carving the terrain. I'm not really that worried about once I get if I get the terrain right to color it and pour the water. Maybe I'm underestimating it, but there's so many good products out there now that I think I can make the water look, pretty good. The terrain is what I'm worried about. Making it slope down correctly. Just this isn't the Rocky Mountains. I'm not going to have a straight rocky sheer drop off down to the creek. It's eastern southern Ohio. It's going to be a muddy creek, sort of tapers down to it. Yeah, there's some sharp banks, like the Elkhorn Creek here near Georgetown. There's places where there's you could jump off the bank and be 6 foot down to the water or something like that. There's other places where you can sort of walk down to the edge, but there's nowhere it's rocky at all. It's very rare here in this area. So that's what I'm worried about, is getting the terrain right. Talked about a couple other things that I worked on. As you can see, sort of the elephant in the room is my backdrop. I'm going to have to put a backdrop up around here and around Oak Hill at some point before I do a lot of scenery. So I intend to stack some foam back in here. This isn't just going to be dead level. There are going to be some little hills back in there. It's going to be like a scenery zone. And I would really like to have after it crosses the bridge, sort of go through a cut to where it sort of hides the train. I would say it makes it seem like the trip is longer if the train goes out of sight sometimes. So I'm going to try to do at least a small view block if I can. Think about putting this bridge back here where it was. May need to get another section onto the end. Another thing that I'm thinking about is, I haven't talked about Oak Hill in a while, so let me move this stuff out of the way. So Route 93 in Oak Hill was coming out here. Thinking about having it continue on to the new section, and actually the railroad bridge will probably be about here, having a vehicle bridge sort of behind it a little bit to help hide where the creek is going to disappear. And then I could curve it on back out here and off the road or something. I don't know. That's just an idea I had. Something else I've done while I've been here cleaning up, I moved my cars down here, so it'll be very easy. If I want to change out cars, I can access them easily. Put this cart down here with the my scenery tools on it, and those boxes have ballast and ground foam and stuff like that. And I can easily roll it out of the way if my wife needs to get into the file cabinet. So that's where I'm at. Again, I'm going to watch some more videos, try to figure out what I need to do. I haven't got a bridge. I'm going to figure out what bridge I need to get, and I really need the dimensions of the bridge exactly before I start cutting into the foam. But before then, I can work on the backdrop, and I have some masonite. Probably my next video in a couple of days, I'll sort of show you. I got this stuff, over here I had the Walthers, and I like it. Okay, I mean, it's two pieces. There is a seam there, and the hills don't match. The sky matches great. The hills don't match that great, but it's a backdrop. It's not supposed to be the main focus of the layout. If the backdrop's the main focus of the layout, then you got a problem, in my opinion. You want people to look at the trains, not the backdrop. So I've got this stuff, I think it's by Fowler or something. It's a new product, and there's 4 pieces, and it's supposed to be like about 12 feet long, which I don't know if that would go all the way around to here, and if it did, I will bet you money that the sky doesn't match. So in the pictures, the sky looks a lot deeper blue. So I'm going to be toying with my options. Let me know what you think. I mean, I would be perfectly fine with just getting some more sections like this and just continue it on around. I mean, who cares if this is the same there as it is over there? I'm not going to be looking at them at the same time. So I wouldn't bother me a bit to just duplicate this a couple more times. It would be really cost effective. I could take this down and just paint, but I went down that road before, and you know, not confident painting the hills are good, but then it would all match. So let me know your ideas down in the comments if you have any ideas, and then I'll certainly consider them. As you know, I try to answer every comment. By the way, I did just reach 400 subscribers, so I really appreciate that. Meant to mention that in the video yesterday, and I didn't. So thank you, everybody. You know, I don't think I'm ever going to be Jawtooth or one of these guys that has, you know, 100,000 subscribers, but that's okay. You know, I'd rather just, you know, not be pressured to churn out a bunch of videos. I want to be value added and have people enjoying the videos and have an interaction. If I start getting hundreds of comments, it might be tough to respond to everybody. So I don't think I talked about this much, but this is what I ended up doing before we close. And again, this is all going to be carved out. I'm already regretting carving this out so even, because I don't think it's going to be that even, but I'll be able to disguise it. If I have to, I can pop this piece off. I mean, it's just a little short piece, and then pop it off, cut another one. It's not going to be a big deal. So again, let me know your thoughts, comments, concerns, and I'll be thinking about the backdrop and the bridge. So share your ideas, and everybody stay safe. Thanks for watching.